Hello and welcome to this week's video. This week I'm looking at they're all important attitudes of mindfulness, but non-striving, which is the one I'm looking at today, really fits incredibly well with qigong. Because although when you see someone doing qigong, what you're most aware of is the movement of the arms, and you're all familiar with these movements that we make now. In fact, you really shouldn't be trying to do the move at all. The movement should be a reflection of what's going on in your core. So this is probably best illustrated by a move that I don't actually use in this set, but which comes later on in the Shibashi set, a move called the palm push. So with the palm push, your arm floats up as you breathe in, with the in-breath expanding these core abdominal muscles. So the natural movement of the arm is up with the in-breath, and you just have a slight intention as to the position of the hand. And then you turn from the waist, and it looks as if you're pushing across your body. But in fact, if you were pushing, you would be pushing from the shoulder. But if you watch my hand as I turn, it stays in the same position relative to my chest all the time. So the actual movement isn't coming from the hand, which would be doing the move and striving, but it's coming from the waist and the body, which is non-striving. Now, when I lead you in these moves, there are a number of things I always say, one of which is, it doesn't matter how big or small you make the moves, you have to do what works for you. When we're doing painting rainbows, I'll always be saying, make sure your shoulders aren't hunched. Because qigong is not about pushing yourself to your limits. Qigong is about recognizing your limits and doing things well within your limits. So with painting rainbows, if you take your arms up too high, and I never get mine up this high, as I do this, I'm very aware that my shoulders are hunched, and that's being quite uncomfortable. And the one thing I always say is that at no point should you feel any discomfort while you're doing these moves. The meditation I'm going to do today is going to be a little different to normal, because it's very much going to be focusing on non-striving. But now I'd like you to make sure your phone is switched off, make sure you're not going to be disturbed for the next half hour or so. And we'll start by bowing in. So just stand in a nice position for you, or sit. And as you breathe in, bring your right hand across your body with your palm up. Then bring your left hand across your body with the palm down. Clasp your arms and bow. Then, time to get yourself into a nice, good stance for the moves that we're going to do. So that means whether you're standing or sitting, feet a hip width apart, feet parallel, facing forward. Send your awareness down to your feet. If you're standing especially, think about the outside of your foot, the inside of your foot, the ball and the heel. The weight should be evenly distributed. Now bring your awareness up to your knees. If you're standing, just relax them just a bit. If you're sitting, make sure that the angle that they're at is about 90 degrees to your thighs. Bring your awareness to your core abdominal muscles. And whether you're sitting or standing, engage them slightly with a slight pelvic tilt. Think of your back. Get your back as straight as you can. Get your neck as straight as you can, and then tuck your chin in. Be aware of the top of your head, and the crown of your head should be pointing up towards the ceiling. Think of your shoulders. Allow them to be relaxed. Pay attention to your arms and hands. If you're standing, you'd like them to be hanging loose, relaxed, almost weightless by your side. If you're sitting, again, have them relaxed and almost weightless by your side, or if it's better for you, then just rest them gently on your lap. And having got yourself into this nice position, this best position for you that doesn't cause you any pain or discomfort, just doing what works for you, recognizing the limitations that your body may place on what you can do. Take a moment just to breathe. Notice how your breath happens without you even trying. Maybe get that sense that the whole of your body breathes. Get a sense of how the movement of your breath, that movement is transferred very gently and delicately through your body. Maybe get a sense of how you would like to feel at the end of this session. Keep in mind that this session is all about not pushing yourself, just allowing things to happen as they want to happen. And then it's time to ground yourself. So imagine yourself in that wonderful lift. It's huge, it's luxurious, and as it moves, the motor hums like the motor of a Rolls Royce. It has luxurious carpet, comfortable chairs, plenty of space, and it has glass walls. As you look out through those glass walls, you can see the most beautiful countryside. As you look out over that countryside, you feel relaxed and calm. And then when you're ready, with every out breath, just gently allow your lift to float down, floor by floor by floor. One floor with every breath, until your lift reaches the ground. And make sure palms of your hands are facing backwards or downwards if they're on your lap. Then with your next in-breath, just allow your arms to float up in front of you. And then as you breathe out, just let them naturally sink back down. Find your own breath and your own rhythm. Only move your arms as far as they will easily go in that one gentle, easy breath. Don't push things. Just let everything flow quite naturally. Don't try to push anything. You should always be working well within your own natural limits. I'll do this move twice more. Breathing in, allowing your arms to float up. As you breathe out, they just gently sink back down. And then last time for this move. Breathe out, and they sink back down. And at the bottom, just relax and let go. Then we'll go on to opening the chest. Now this time as you breathe and allow your arms to float up, then gently allow them to float out as your chest and lungs expand. And then as you breathe out that natural expansion, relaxation, just allows your hands to float back in and back down. Again, only move your arms as far as you can manage in one gentle, easy breath. In fact, it doesn't matter if all that you really do is gently turn your arms at the shoulders to change the angle of your hands. It doesn't matter how far you move your hands out. Just breathe in and allow your arms to respond to that movement in a way that suits you. Breathe in, your arms float up and may spread apart. As you breathe out, they float back in and back down. And then last time for this move. As you breathe out, just let your hands float down at the bottom, relax and let go. And then we'll get ready to paint rainbows. So as you breathe in, your arms float up as high as you're comfortable with. And as you breathe out, shift your weight slightly to the left. Sink on your left knee, keeping your back straight, and allow your right arm to uncurl. And then as you breathe in, everything comes back to the starting position. Do the same on the other side. Now if you're seated, just gently raise the heel of your left foot as your left arm uncurls. And then the same with the right. Make sure your shoulders are nice and relaxed. Remember to keep your back straight. Just move one more time on each side. As you breathe in, everything comes back to the starting position. Then turn your palms outwards as you breathe out. Just allow your hands to gently float all the way down. And on the in-breath, they rise up as high as you're happy to take them. And on the out-breath, they sweep back down. Doesn't matter how big the circles you make with your hands are. Make them as big or as small as works for you. Small is beautiful in Tai Chi. We'll just move twice more. And then this time, allow your hands to float down, but let them end just in front of your abdomen with the palms up and slightly cupped. Can you imagine that you've got a small ball of energy in your hands? Breathe in, can you feel around that ball? Then as you breathe out, imagine you push it down underwater, but it bobs up again. So breathe in, smooth around the ball, breathe out and push it down. Keep this move very small. Be careful to take your hands no higher than your heart. Breathe in. Allow your hands to float around that ball. Breathe out and they push it back down. And then last time for this move. This time as you breathe out, bring your hands to rest on your lap or in front of your abdomen. Just for a moment, stand and breathe. And just get that sense of everything settling back to where it should be. Then, when you're ready, let your hands float down. Bring your left foot in towards your right, and let's bow out as we bowed in. Then, I'd like you to get yourself seated wherever you're going to be for the meditation. And while you get yourself seated, just to remind you that mindfulness isn't about clearing your mind, it's about being aware of what your mind is doing. And in this meditation, so I'm going to be doing something a little bit different to what I normally do. I hope you will find it interesting. So, I hope you've now got yourself settled down, whether you're sitting, standing, lying, whatever. As ever, I'm going to begin and end the meditation with the sound of my singing bowl. I'm going to sound the bowl 3 times. The 3rd time, I'm going to allow the sound to die away quite naturally. And what I would like you to see is to be curious and see if you can notice that point where the sound of the singing bowl fades into silence. As the sound of the bowl fades into silence, can you notice any of the sounds or sensations that you have present in your personal space right here, right now? Don't actively listen out. Don't reach out to see what you can hear. Just sit and breathe and just notice the sounds that naturally come to your ears, letting go of any natural tendency to want to identify them or classify them. They're just sounds. They will come and they will go. But you see, the thing is, right here, right now, you don't have to worry about them. Because right here, right now, and in this moment, nobody's expecting anything of you. You don't have to do anything. Can you become aware of where your body is in the room physically? What's touching it? What's supporting your body? Maybe there are different textures that you can notice. Can you get a sense of how your body is being supported right here, right now? If you need to move, adjust your position to get comfortable, feel free. You can move at any time. You don't have to have your eyes closed. You can have your eyes open or closed. It's your personal choice. But can you let your awareness move in so that you become aware once more of your breath? Letting the breath happen quite naturally. Just allowing the breath to be as it naturally wants to be. Not trying to change it, not worrying that it should be any different to how it is for you. Just noticing every in-breath and every out-breath. And if your mind tries to wander away, as minds will do, that's okay. When you become aware that your mind's wandered, congratulate yourself for noticing what your mind is doing, and then gently lead your mind back to focusing once more on every in-breath and every out-breath. Because right here, right now, nothing else matters except just this breath coming in, just this breath going out. Now as you sit there, I'd like you to have your mind quite open, have some curiosity, and think about what non-striving really means. Think about a river. The water takes the path of least resistance. And yet, rivers can carve away the rock, and given time, can carve away huge canyons. Think of a tree. The tree doesn't grow big by working hard. The tree grows big by simply allowing things to happen. It absorbs water and food from the soil, and that water and food promote the growth. It takes in energy from the sun. It helps provide the energy for that growth. It doesn't have to work hard to do that. It just happens because that is the nature of a tree. And a more modern example. Think about a dirty dish or pan where the food has got burnt on. Leave it soaking in soapy water for a while, and all that dirt and grease just floats off so easily. Now, qigong is based in the tenets of traditional Chinese medicine and has a strong link with Taoism. I'd like to end today's meditation by reading you one chapter from the Tao Te Ching. As I read these words, can you think about non-striving? 30 spokes join one hub. The wheel's use comes from emptiness. Clay is fired to make a pot. The pot's use comes from emptiness. Windows and doors are cut to make a room. The room's use comes from emptiness. Therefore, having leads to profit. Not having leads to use. Think of those images, especially the empty bowl, and the emptiness inside the bowl that means you can use it. Again, think of a river gently running through rock. Just taking the path of least resistance. and managing to carve away the rock. Just breathing is non-striving. Focusing your awareness on your breath. Just being in this moment. Not trying to change anything. Just being. As you breathe, can you maybe become aware of the point of stillness that happens in between each breath? That stillness just happens. It happens quite naturally. But in the stillness, it can be easier to just be. Of course, in stillness, you can't be striving. So as you find that point of stillness in between your breath, can you imagine that stillness spreading through the whole of your body? Till it fills the whole of your body from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes. Become aware of the whole of your body filled with that stillness. Enjoy it. And then bring your awareness back once more to the rhythm of your breathing, the rise and fall, with the in-breath and the out-breath. And then start to let your awareness move outside you. So you become aware of the room and the sounds from both inside and outside the room. And then listen once more for the sound of my singing bowl. Bring yourself back to normal awareness. Don't rush off. Take a moment. Get my teeth in. Take a moment to make sure that you are fully awake. Remember, you can actually find that point of stillness anytime you need to by focusing on your breath. It's something that you can carry with you and tap into anytime that you need it. Now, the idea of non-striving is one that's very, very foreign in today's world, where we're always told to push, push, push and do harder and do greater things. But I would like to point one simple fact out to you. If you exercise too much, you're going to pull a muscle. And the same thing can be applied to this art of non-striving. If you push yourself too much, you're very likely to cause some damage somewhere, maybe either physical damage or, in today's world, very likely some mental damage. And you really don't want that. So thank you for watching this video today. I do hope you've enjoyed the slightly different format. If you have enjoyed it, I'd quite like to include more tales and verses from the Tao Te Ching, as well as more conventional meditations, because you can still meditate on the images that come out of those tales and poems. I'm just trying to think what the next attitude is. I think it's patience. So I'll be dealing with that next week. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear from you. If you've got any questions, I'd equally love to hear from you. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to share it with anybody that you think might also enjoy it. These videos are completely free and will remain so, but if you'd like a little bit more video time with me, then pop along over to my Patreon page, where for the small sum of $2 a month, you can get an extra half-hour video time with me, tailored to what you want. In the meantime, please enjoy the rest of your day, and I will hope to see you next week. Namaste.